Now, perhaps you clicked on this video thinking, well, maybe I'm just missing one thing and that's why my dreams haven't come true. Or maybe she's going to give some kind of secret that I am not aware of. And that's going to take me and catapult me into accomplishing or fulfilling my dreams. And I wish I did have that secret, but it's the oldest trick in the book. It's the oldest secret in the book. And that, my dearest, is simply taking action. Now, hello, my lovelies. So happy to have you back. Sandy Salgado here. Today, I am going to bring a message about dreams. Not just any kind of dreams, not the kind of dreams that you have while you're sleeping, or perhaps if you're one of those people that are active even in your sleep, then maybe I'm talking to you. But the type of dream that I'm going to be talking about, the kind of dreams that I'm going to be discussing today, are the type of dreams that you can bring into reality, that you can turn into reality. Last week, I discussed your gifts. Are you wasting your gifts was the title of the message, which, by the way, if you haven't watched it, I would encourage you to go back after you finish watching this video and take a look at that, because it does have a lot of mini morsels of information, little nuggets of information that I think will help you to better understand this message. But the discussion of last week was, are you wasting your gifts? What are your natural born, God-given talents and abilities that you have in order to execute your purpose? Because I wholeheartedly believe that we are all born with purpose. And in order to execute that purpose, we do have those God-given abilities and talents and gifts that we need in order to execute such purpose. So I had a lot of feedback last week when I uploaded the message on social media platforms, where I was reached out to and I was asked, well, Sandy, you're absolutely right. Now that I know what my gifts are, how exactly do I put them to use? And how do they go hand in hand with my dreams? How do I make my dreams come true or bring them into reality with these gifts? So because of that, today we are going to be discussing exactly that. How do you turn your gifts into, or how do you turn your dreams into reality? Now, perhaps you clicked on this video thinking, well, maybe I'm just missing one thing and that's why my dreams haven't come true. Or maybe she's going to give some kind of secret that I am not aware of. And that's going to take me and catapult me into accomplishing or fulfilling my dreams. And I wish I did have that secret, but it's the oldest trick in the book. It's the oldest secret in the book. And that, my dearest, is simply taking action. Now, I'll back up a little bit and I'll break down exactly what that means. Obviously, if you clicked on this video, or if you do have some kind of ambition, then you already know somewhere, you're already somewhere along the way of kind of narrowing down on exactly what it is that you were put on this earth to do, or the ambitions that you have, or the dreams that you have. And the only thing that has been stopping you or hindering you is the lack of action. You allow yourself to become overwhelmed with too many thoughts of looking at way too much of the picture, when in reality, the only thing that you're supposed to be focusing on is putting one foot in front of the other in order to get yourself started and moving and gaining momentum. I cannot tell you how many individuals I have come across in my journey of coaching and simply mentoring, or just people that I've befriended, as I mentioned last week. So many individuals are hindered or hesitant because of fear. And let me just break it down to you. It's plain and simple. You are not going to be to everybody's liking. I don't care how likable you are. I don't care how many gifts and talents you have. I don't care how personable you are. You're not going to be to everybody's liking, and that is perfectly okay. That's the beauty in diversity. That's the beauty in different temperaments, where I mean, you obviously, I would hope that we would all be respectful of each other regardless of our differences. But that's the beauty in diversity and different temperaments, that you can bring something to the table that perhaps others don't, or you can really mesh very well with people of your same temperament. So, but going back, unfortunately, fear is the number one dream stealer. Because you are fearful of whether or not your dreams are good enough, whether or not your people are going to respond positively, whether or not you'll make it, fear of failure. That is the number one cause why dreams do not become a reality. And I cannot stress enough how ridiculous and unfounded these fears are. So to bring this whole thing full circle, this whole message full circle, speaking of last week and then kind of bringing it home today, first and foremost, you need to stop hesitating because of fear. You need to simply get started. And let me tell you, speaking from personal experience, the first time that I got on stage, I was fearful beyond belief. I mean, even with that fear, I decided, okay, this is the dream that I have. This is what I want to execute. And I remember, and I'll give you a little bit of a backstory before I continue with the message. I remember it was for a convention, and they hired me as a speaker. My very first speaking gig. I remember spending hours and hours just preparing, speaking to my couches in the gym, reciting that speech, just getting that presentation down. I remember getting up on stage, and because I prepared so much, I remember thinking I was going to have a standing ovation and people were going to be, just holding on to every last word that I said. And I remember just looking into the audience, and the first couple of minutes people were engaged. And all of a sudden I just saw a couple of people getting up and other people engaging with each other. And I remember losing the audience. And I remember that just a feeling of just defeat came over me. And when I got off that stage, I told myself, I never want to do this again. And I just remember feeling complete and utter defeat. And just thinking, I never, ever again will put myself through this pain, through this embarrassment, through this crushing emotion. And I remember when I got down, there was a friend of mine waiting for me, so excited. And she knew exactly what had happened, because I didn't recover from losing my train of thought and just wanting to jump off stage. People immediately saw it. But I remember her words. And she said, "You were amazing. And I cannot wait to see you up on stage again." And I'm getting emotional just thinking about it, because had it not been for those words, I don't know that I would have ever gotten back on stage. And the reason I share this with you is because a lot of times little setbacks like this are what rob us of our dreams. Because of setbacks like this, we stop dreaming. We stop believing that those dreams are attainable or that they're reachable. And so today I simply want to remind you to take action. When you start, you're not going to be the best. You're going to have flaws and you're going to suck. I hate to say it, but you're going to suck, just like I did on my first speaking engagement, where I really genuinely thought, because I was so prepared, I was going to have a standing ovation, and you can seriously hear a pin drop, and then you can see people standing up, and you can see people distracted, and me losing the audience. And by the grace of God, I am so grateful for the person, my friend that was there with me, that reminded me that I was capable. And I started getting more speaking engagements, and I started getting in front of the camera more often, and I started becoming more comfortable, and I started educating myself and preparing myself. And because of that, I am doing now what I do. But I didn't start that way. I started fearful. I started uneducated. Even if I was prepared, no, it didn't matter how many books I read. It didn't matter how many presentations I gave in front of a mirror. I simply sucked at the beginning, and that is perfectly okay, because you aren't born knowing. Even though you have your natural gifts and talents, you are not born knowing, and you're not born with experience. You acquire the experience through trials, through errors, and through doing exactly what you have to do. So no matter what obstacles you come across, no matter what barriers or hurdles you have to jump over, remember that this is your dream, and that the only person that can execute this dream is you. Another very good point is that there are going to be so many naysayers, so many people that do not believe in your dream, so many people that are, and I want to be very careful with what I'm going to say. Perhaps they're jealous, or perhaps they don't have your vision. They don't see your dream, and they're going to try to keep you from growing and from really accomplishing. In those very moments, you have to remember why you started. You have to remember that people don't have your vision, that there are going to be a lot of people that you're going to come across and that you're going to have to leave behind. There are going to be people that are going to want to crush your dreams because perhaps their dreams were crushed. And regardless of these individuals, regardless of who you come across, you have to make sure that you stay true to your dreams. There are going to be bad days. There are going to be good days. There are going to be moments of victories. There are going to be standing ovations like the ones that I wanted and that I've already had. There are going to be lives that are going to change because of your dreams. But if you don't start taking those first steps and building towards and gaining momentum, nothing will ever happen. So, remember that you were perfectly and wonderfully created. Remember that you have those gifts and talents that God placed inside of you. Remember that you are capable. But remember that in order for those dreams to come true and for you to put those gifts and talents to use, you have to take the first step. The Bible tells us that faith without works is dead. We could be full of good intentions, but at the end of the day, those good intentions are nothing but good intentions if left without action. And the Bible also tells us in Ecclesiastes that everything that we have in our hands to use, to do, to work, we should do, because there will come a time where no matter how much you want those dreams to come to pass, you won't be able to. So now that you're capable, now that you have the energy, now that you have the ability, that you have the open doors by the grace of God, get to work. Write those books. Go and become an actor. Polish off your gifts. Become a speaker. Become an entrepreneur, a business owner. Whatever it is that God placed inside of you has seeds. You have seeds inside of you that you need to plant, and that they need to give fruit. Those dreams are your own, and the only person that can execute them is you. So go out and dream big, regardless of the naysayers, regardless of society, regardless of whatever standards people want to conform you to. You are your own person. You have your own dreams, and you are perfectly capable of executing. So go out, dream big, put your feet on the ground and your head in the sky, your dreams in the sky, and reach for them and execute. All right? I hope this message helps. I hope that you find it inside of you, not because I say so, but because deep down inside you know that this is true. You are perfectly capable. You are brilliant. You are marvelous. You were created by a perfect Father. All right? I do hope to see you again soon. Until next time, God bless each and every one of you. Ciao.